I think we're live. One second. I need to pull up my control thing. But we got Dnaiel and Buku here. Buku coming off a big win a couple days ago at the Invitational on Sabine. And he's on Sabine again here. Dnaiel is on Han Green, which traditionally has had a good matchup into this Sabine deck, but we'll see if that's what happens today. So we got the bracket here. Let's take a look at the deck list before they get started. So this is Dnaiel's list. It's Han Green. He's on some interesting stuff. He's got Spark of Hopes in there to ramp, as well as 3 resupply. He's on the 3 Echo-based defenders, which is sort of falling out of favor among some players. He's got the 3 DJ, 3 tech. It looks like a pretty compact Han list. And of course, he's actually running main deck Change of Heart, which is also really interesting. And now this is Buku's list. It's different from the one he ran at the Invitational. He doesn't have the Delphi Patrol Wings in there. This is also just a pretty standard Sabine list. He's on main deck Sundari Peacekeepers, which that's been in a lot of people's sideboard. He's got Timely Interventions in his sideboard. Mercenary Gunships in the sideboard. That's a really interesting one. He's also on 3 main deck Rebel Pathfinder, which I think has found its way into a lot of lists, and it's actually a really strong card here. So, we'll see if that happens. I need to get the thing here. And we go give them a go-ahead. Good luck to both these players. We're on the right screen on OBS, right? Yes, we are. All right. Looks like Buku's going to be starting with the initiative here. Oh, shoot. I need to... go here so I can see the hands. I think that's good here. All right. This Han deck is a lot of fun to play, and I think it does have a good matchup here into Sabine. Buku taking a mulligan there. On Dnaiel's side, he's got Cloud Rider, Echo-based Defender. Those are both pretty good plays into Sabine if the Sabine ends up going to ground. And Buku's new hand is kind of awkward. He doesn't have a single 2-drop here. That's going to make things rough. He does have some good 3s. He's got the Wrecker. He's got the K2. Cassie, I'd probably be resourcing Cassian and Fleet Lieutenant here and planning for that Sundari Peacekeeper next round. We're gonna see, I guess, just Cloud Rider come down. Not gonna ambush anything. And Buku takes the initiative. DJ picked up for Dnaiel. I didn't quite catch the 2 cards that he resourced, but I don't know if there's attack there. If there is, that would be big though. right, Buku picks up it looks like a heroic sacrifice and a rebel pathfinder. He's gonna resource the pathfinder. And thinking twice about the Sundari. As I'm just using the Sabine ping there. And we're going to see Spark Rebellion come out, which could leave, if he takes the Sundari, he could leave Buku without a play for another round. Although I don't think that's the right move. I'm probably taking Wrecker or K2 here. But there is an argument to take the the Peacekeeper. And he does do it. All right. I guess Buku can play for a cause and deal some damage. And he's not even going to do that. Just going to take initiative. And Dnaiel is going to develop a Greedo and start hitting base. And what I think is already a favorable matchup for Dnaiel has gone incredible for him these first couple of rounds. I don't think I've promoted the stream anywhere. I need to do that. I'm just going to do that real quick. Boom. All right, going into a new round. Buku's got initiative. He's actually going to be able to make a play this turn. He's got the K2SO. We'll see if he ends up burning the ECL. It looks like it's not going to burn the ECL. I'm just going to play that K2. And we're going to see Sabine here deployed. Dnaiel's got Echo Base Defender, which can, I mean, it's pretty darn good in this scenario. I'm going to block a Sabine attack, hit back a bit, and survive the attack. Dnaiel has not even used this Han ability once. Next turn, he could use it to get to Han early. And Buku's not even going to go for the Sabine attack into the defender. Makes sense. Doesn't really get you anywhere. I mean, like, doing K2 into it also doesn't feel amazing. And Dnaiel picks up the tech here. We know he has a DJ in the resource row. Bit late for the combo, but he knows about that Wrecker, and he might be interested in stopping the Wrecker from coming down. So we might see a DJ tech played in the late game here. And Buku is keeping up the ECL. And Wrecker is actually 6. I thought it was 7 for a second. So I don't think the strategy of going for DJ Tech to stop the Wrecker is going to be particularly helpful here. But Kira to stop the Wrecker might be. Although, you know, if he does do that, then Poe can just clear her pretty effectively. He's actually just going to call Poe. stop the play this turn. Makes sense. Although I think Wrecker hurts you a bit more. The extra turn of tempo might be worth it. Here comes Cassian out of the row. And Dnaiel is going to go to 6 here. So you can bring out this Han. And Dnaiel is our Buku is set up here for a play that might bring him back into the game of going ECL Wrecker into Han. Which would be able to deal 5 damage and then swing over him for 6 overwhelm. Although Dnaiel only does have 6 damage on the base, like, and he's only at 7 health remaining himself. That, I mean, Dnaiel's running low on cards, so a play like that could make a big difference. Where is he? Spark of Hope, and Spark of Hope destroyed here. And here's the play. And okay, so he's actually not doing what I thought about. He's actually just going to take out both units, which makes sense. Like, he does need to stabilize here, and he's sort of managing to. Dnaiel can play attack out of the resource row, which is big, and he can play Cloud Rider to clear this Wrecker. But Buku now has 6 cards in hand to Dnaiel's none. Tech is going to open up some more options. And Dnaiel is very close to just being able to win the game. But still, Buku does have a chance to come back here, even after that miserable start. Falcon here. Spark Hope is just kind of useless here. It's going to get resourced. Buku's got to make a resource decision here. He's on 5. It makes sense to go up to 6, but you also really want to keep your cards. He's going to resource his second Poe. Now, Buku does have a long way to go. He's got to deal 20 damage here. And let's see. All right. If he plays a Darksaber here, that threatens being able to kill the tech. And it also enables him to play the Rebel Pathfinder. So he's going to play Darksaber. That threatens the tech. We'll see if Dnaiel has anything to use it on. He is going to get a Falcon. All right. Now, the question is, if you're Buku, do you just use this to go to base and start trying to win, but risking the attack, or do you clear the tech to save yourself? I think you might have to clear the tech. Because you're taking 5 this turn if you don't, which leaves you with 2 health left. That means either of these attacking next turn or game. You don't have like control pieces that can stop that. This represents 7 to base, and looks like he is just going to go to base. 2 from the tech there. 3 more from the Falcon. And Buku now has to deal with both of these threats, and I don't think he can. Unless I'm totally missing something. Yep, nope. And Dnaiel wins game 1. He had some help with some unfortunate draws from Buku and a well-timed Spark Rebellion. But in the end, he got there. Used almost every last card to get there, too. Love those kinds of victories. You know, you feel like everything in your deck was relevant. Didn't waste a single card. Everything was perfectly efficient and exactly what you needed to do to win. Let's talk about sideboards. So this is Buku's list. I don't know what comes in here. If you saw Echo-Based Defender, well, I guess he knows about Echo-Based Defender because the lists are public. Maybe bring in Spec Force Soldiers. Maybe bring in Timely Interventions. Timely Interventions seems like it's a good card. It can help you win games that you should otherwise lose. That might go a bit long, and I think you would expect that in this matchup. So I'm probably expecting Timely's to come in. Maybe I expect Bright Hope if I'm worried about Falcon. Otherwise, I don't know. I don't think Confiscate's going to come in. It's not too relevant in this matchup. On Dnaiel's side, he's got his own Confiscates, which I imagine are going to come in for those Dark Sabers. Scanning Officer. Maybe play Scanning Officer to take out Cassian's. It's possible. Traitorous is, I think, generally is going to come in here. You generally want it in these matchups. I don't know if you bring in anything else. Dnaiel is really maxing out on top end here. He's got 3 Ewings, 3 Hans, 3 Home1s, and 2 Reinforcement Walkers. We didn't see any of those come down last game. He didn't need to play any of them. But here we go. We're into game 2. Dnaiel up 1 on Han. Ooh, that's an interesting hand. And he's got Tech DJ. And he's got double Kira also. Going to resource attack and Home1. Interesting. Going to, it looks like he's going to go for attack here. Oh, he's actually just going to straight up play DJ. Interesting. I guess it's a, it's a 3-5. He's got good stats here. And resourcing another Home1. And I think we're just going to see a tech come out. And yeah, tech DJ on board. But the DJ not where he needs to be to steal the resource. And there's the third Kira for Dnaiel here. Cassian goes to base. This Cassian is kind of tough to kill here, but Dnaiel has the Syndicate Lackeys in hand, which manages to do it as efficiently as he can. Although we might just see I think we're going to see the Syndicate Lackeys come out onto Sabine. DJ is going, oh, maybe not. I think you do want to lackeys the Sabine, by the way. I think that's 100% the correct play, especially without confiscating hand for a Darksaber. I think the question is like whether he wants to hit base or hit Cassian with these. And I'm probably hitting Cassian, frankly. And looks like that's what happens. He does lose the DJ, but DJ did what he needed to. I think Buku's contemplating ECLing a K2 to deal with this DJ. Perhaps like Dnaiel would have been more wise to attack with DJ first instead of the tech to avoid getting ECL'd here. I think the ECL K2 play makes sense. Without a wrecker in hand, you're fine doing it. Yep. And now, that also wasted an action, which means Dnaiel now has to either pass or make a play on one of these units. And it looks like we're going to see, the lackeys come down, knock out Cassian, which means Sabine is going to get a hit on base. All right, boom. There's the lackeys. Deals with the Cassian. Here's Sabine. Dnaiel does get to clean, which means he should be able to wipe out Sabine in one action here. Although she's actually thinking about going after tech. No, it's just going to be base. So this is going to be 5 resources here. Which means Han can use his ability and go for the flip. Although his hand is not necessarily super amenable to that. There's nothing he needs to play for 7. All right, lackeys is just going to take out Sabine before anything bad can happen. Buku's he's got Darksaber in hand. He's got Poe also. He has a second K2 and a red 3. I think we're most likely to just see Poe come down here, hardcast. ECL is gone, so we can't do that. Kira's going to come in here and I think probably call K2, or probably call Poe, sorry, to prevent that play. And it looks like we're just going to see red 3, not going for the K2 to refresh the health. Red 3 is pretty solid in this hand without any space units in hand, although notably Dnaiel here did resource the Millennium Falcon instead of the Echo Base Defender. But with a tech on board, perhaps that doesn't matter as much, as he can just pull the Falcon from nowhere. And Han is going to resource to go up to 6. Han takes out the K2, takes 3 damage. Gonna generate another resource here. I don't know, maybe he's got a Greedo or something he can play with tech. Looks like no, and we're going to another round. Double Cloud Rider, that's not, you don't want to see that. That's not amazing. Dino really wants to be drawing Ewing reinforcements here. Wrecker in hand for Buku. That is big. Boom. Wrecker is going to blow up the Han. Dnaiel would have to suicide all his units to clear this Wrecker this turn, or have something in the resource row. I believe he has an Echo Base Defender in the resource row, which blunts some of the damage. We got 4 resources here for Cloud Rider. Oh yeah, Cloud Rider plus a Cloud Rider in hand actually does do it. But he's got no other resources to spend on something else. And Buku is very close to just being able to win this game here. 8 health remaining on Dnaiel's base, now 7. He can do 5 out of hand next round with this Heroic Sacrifice. And then he's a 4 cause away from winning, essentially, or a K2 trigger. And Dnaiel's going to take initiative. He really wants to be drawing things like Bright Hopes. Oof, not those. Echo Base Defender is a decent pickup here. Ooh, Timely Intervention, that is actually big. I think that might be... Oh, it's close to a game this turn. Yeah, 5 for Falcon? Yeah. We're going to see Heroic Sacrifice. And that's going to be 5 to base. Yep, that's 5 to base. And then Timely K2 is going to do it here. And we're going to game 3. Buku taking it with that timely intervention at a very timely moment. I think you drew it this turn, so definitely a timely intervention. I think this is gonna be an exciting game 3. And I think I don't know if I don't think they're going back to the sideboard at all. I don't see any reason to. And yep. And there's a Ewing reinforcement for Dnaiel. Yeah, we haven't seen one of those all match. But the rest of the scene is kind of awkward. Although it is pretty solid in this matchup. Okay, he is going to throw it back, though. Bright Hope I was looking at and thinking that's pretty cool. And drawing back a lot of the same stuff. Second Ewing reinforcement could be important. But he's not going to keep it. Spark of Hope in hand. There's Greedo, who's going to be a great answer to this Battlefield Marine. Buku using the Sabine Pang. And Resupply also picked up here. Though it's just going to be resourced. So now Buku is going to be able to play a second Greedo here and the Spark of Hope. That's a pretty good turn, too. Greedo runs over the Marine. Fighters for Freedom. If Greedo gets lucky, he can trade into that in the zone. Syndicate Lackeys is going to be online next turn. It's a great tool in this matchup. It clears Fighters for Freedom. It clears Sabine. Double resupply picked up. Okay. So now we're on this turn. We could see the Syndicate Lackeys. We could also see Han go for a more aggressive play and use his ability, flip, and go for the Ewing reinforcement. Seems like a natural play. Buku's got an awkward hand here. He doesn't have a 4-drop, no K2 or Darksaber. He does have a 3 and a 1, a couple different combinations that make that. He's also got this 2 in Sabine. So we go like Sabine plus Spec Force, or you can also add in Heroic Sacrifice. You go Fleet Lieutenant plus either Spec Force or Heroic. Fleet Lieutenant doesn't feel incredible with this Greedo on board, but then neither does Sabine. Unless you want to use the ECL on Sabine, which I don't think you do. And we are just going to see Fleet. And the Fighters for Freedom hits base here. In this position, I think I'm going for the Ewing reinforcement if I'm Dnaiel. Because you're not having to worry about Darksaber, so you don't need to out Sabine immediately with this Lackeys. Han plus Greedo can clear the 2 units on the board. And now he's got to make a decision. If he's going to syndicate lackeys, he's got to do it now. And okay, he is. It's a fine play. He gets to clear everything on the board, save some damage. He can Ewing next turn. Spec Force comes down. Fighters pings the base for 1. Han is going to clear fighters here. Now, if Greedo gets lucky, he can kill both of these units. And goes for the fleet. And, oh, booyah! That clears the Spec Force. Greedo shooting first here. And we move into another round. And Buku's hand is still awkward. He doesn't have the Poe, which you usually want to be playing on 5. K2SO is a fine play. And then Wrecker next turn is also fine. But just like a naked K2 is just not something to write home about. I guess he's considering the ECL to take out Han, which does block the Ewing reinforcement this turn. But it doesn't. You really want to be using the ECL on Wrecker here. He's behind on damage, and Han is just going to base here. Sabine pings. And here's the UW. And what do we got here? We got a Han unit, Falcon, Cloud Rider, DJ. These are some interesting units. You go 2 3s and the 1 for the Greedo. You go a 4 and a 3. You go a 4 and 2 and 1, actually. You can go for just the 7 and bring out Han. Among the 3s, he's got DJ, Falcon, and Echo Base Defender. This is gonna be good no matter what he picks. I don't know what I would pick here. I'd probably be worried about Wrecker coming down next turn, so I'd want something that insulates me from that. Potentially pulling Kira would be a good answer there. Kira plus, maybe a Falcon to lock up space. You also do want something that answers the K2, ideally without dying, but the only thing that does that is Han. And Han does answer Wrecker next turn, but it doesn't prevent him. And it looks like we are going to see the Han here. I guess he's saying, I've got enough health. I can tank a Wrecker hit from the ECL. But I just want to be able to answer him cleanly. And he gets in this hit to base with the lackeys. And there you have Reinforcement Walker. That's a big thing. I think Dnaiel can... okay, he's thinking about resourcing it. He has access to it this turn if he resources something else. Interesting. You would have picked Kira plus Echo Base Defender. I probably gone Kira plus one of the 3s. I'm not sure which 3 I would have gone with, but I probably would have gone for Kira. It looks like it is going to be the Reinforcement Walker resource there. He does have the Kira in hand, but the record's going to get played before it. And we'll see. I guess the pop is red 3. And who's he going to hit? He's going to hit the Han. He's going to hit the Syndicate lackeys. And then go into the Han leader. I think that's a bit of a misplay. He could have gotten 1 more damage on it if he went for Han, right? If he go, yeah, I don't know. And here comes Kira. Sees the Heroic and the Pathfinder. He's just going to call Wrecker again. Makes sense to me. You don't really care about either of those cards. Sabine ping used. And we're going to see spare the target, hit Wrecker, which is going to allow this Han to go to base. And that Han is going to mean Buku's in danger of dying next turn from 1 attack by this Han. And he's got nothing to stop it. And Buku's going to call it. And our invitational champion is not going to move on in this top cut here. And Dnaiel goes on to the top 8. Congratulations. Ooh, we got more spoilers here. All right. Let's take a look at the bracket. Whoa. All right. All right. There we go. So yeah, here's the bracket. Oh, we need to update with this. The result of this one. Come on. There we go. All right. So we still have one more top 24 match to go. I think it's been scheduled. Let me scroll down and see if I can find it. But I believe they did schedule to it. Oh, yes. Tomorrow, 2 p.m. CEST. I'm not sure what time zone that is. Is that CET? CEST. It's basically something like that. Okay. All right. So sometime tomorrow afternoon, we're going to get Vika versus Wayun. That's our last top 24 game. And then we got a lot of top 16 games left. 3 players so far have made it to the top 8, and they're all pretty interesting. Gerald, avenging his loss to Kothel last season, has moved on to the top 8 with Boba Green. 2 Moons on Cat Red, running through 2 Kiras. And now Dnaiel. All right. Thank you all for tuning in, and always remember to take the initiative.